Hello everyone, welcome back to one of the fresh and engaging episode of Grow with Anshuman. And today we have Gopi with us. Hey Gopi, how are you doing today?
I'm doing fantastic. How about you, Anshuman?
Doing insane. Thank you for asking. So, would you mind to quickly introduce yourself for the first time since we are meeting? So, would like to have a quick introduction of yourself. Yeah.
Sure, my pleasure.
Mm-hmm.
I'm Gopi. I'm from Tamil Nadu.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a technical support executive. I'm working in Bangalore, and I've been working in this field for around 8 to 9 months. And I have this urge to improve my spoken English. I've been trying to improve my spoken English for the last 3 to 4 years, consistently and continuously, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
Apart from that, I love to watch movies. I love to watch cricket. I love to play a little bit of cricket. And this is all about me. Thank you.
Amazing. Amazing. You mentioned something what really caught my attention since you mentioned that you're working in this domain from last 3 years or like more than that.
More than that, but for the last 3 years, I've been a bit consistent.
Okay, on this English spoken wala part. So tell me that once you come to the corporate, I believe you would be the right person to ask this question because in corporate, we have an essential thing. If you're working in, especially in customer support or some customer facing role, there you'll have to be very attentive and, precautionary about your language because whatever you'll speak, it would affect the customer experience. So have you ever faced any barrier because of this language? And that's why you started learning this language, or maybe you want the fluency, this kind of?
Actually, my journey started in 2019. I wanted to improve my spoken English because I failed in lots of interviews,
Mm-hmm.
especially for customer support interviews. So that's the main reason I got into this field.
Mm-hmm.
After I started improving my spoken English, I was not able to feel much pressure or difficulty while facing my customer. Nowadays, I'm encountering UK customers
Mm-hmm.
where I face a little bit of trouble with accent.
Mm-hmm.
But no, once we get a keyword, then it's not going to be trouble anymore.
Yep.
So if you ask me, 3 or 4 years ago, yes, I had a bit of an issue in terms of understanding my customers. But nowadays, everything is smooth. I'm able to understand. I'm able to provide a proper resolution. There is no issue with communication.
Got it. So what did actually change that time? Like 4 years back, you were some Gopi, not, I'm assuming you were not like this. Since you're flawlessly talking, you're able to communicate better. So if you'll compare your present self to the earlier one, what actually changed if you'll have to highlight 2 or 3 points which actually played a very major impact in your communicational journey? I believe learner can get a lot of value out there. Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. My first and foremost thing is consistency. You guys might be wondering why is this guy always say consistency from the start of the video.
Mm-hmm.
The word is so simple, but when it comes to action, I'm telling you, it is so difficult. There were times I wanted to quit. There were times I got demotivated. I
Mm-hmm.
got self doubts.
Mm-hmm.
I was asking lots of questions whether I was improving or whether I was deceiving myself.
Yep.
But I had a fantastic network to keep me in this loop. And even when I was so down in my life, they called me voluntarily and they motivated me. And that was the main reason. So, what's my simple opinion here is build your network. When you want to quit, your network wouldn't let you quit. So my first and foremost thing I would like to say is my friends, they helped me to improve my spoken English. Some are there with me, some were not there, but each and everyone did a fantastic magic in my spoken English journey and they disappeared. That's the main thing, I considered as a important thing that changed my entire perspective towards English, and that changed my elevation of spoken English skill.
Got it.
Other than that, I had this little bit of small practices that I commit each and every day without miss. That's it.
Got it. So consistency is one. Second is your peer group and the surrounding you mentioned. So where
Yes.
those people or maybe the friends coming or just being helping you since childhood, or you just got them while you started practicing this? Because while I ask this question, I'll give you a little context. While we start something new, there were very few people who would genuinely help you. There are majority people, maybe your friends, your colleagues, they will feel like, hey, why you're just doing something else? Or maybe why you're just trying to be encouraged. I have heard these things very often from many of the learners saying like this. So that's why they don't prefer their existing friend to be a peer partner in terms of their improvement journey. So I would like to understand the peers or the learners whom you have got motivated from. Were they your existing friends, or you just made them with the journey? Maybe you find them on the applications or while practicing this language.
Okay, all right. So, my answer to this question, I met all of them on WhatsApp and some social media platforms. To be honest, out of all the people, I would name only 10 members whom I know how they look like, their appearance,
Mm-hmm.
their personal matters. Apart from 10, there are tons of people. I don't even know who they are, where, I don't even know how they act in their real life and
Oh yeah.
stuff, but
Oh yeah.
still, they impacted a lot in my life. So I got to meet them through WhatsApp platforms, and we got to connect on a regular basis.
Mm-hmm.
Especially, I was pursuing my college studies from 2021 to 2024. I got plenty of time at the time, so I was able to improve my spoken English with those fellow members from WhatsApp group. That's how I got to meet my friends. They were not
Got
from
it.
my childhood days.
Got
They
it.
they 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 got to meet me in the last 5 years.
So here I just wanted to give my observation, which is quite resonating with you. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
You don't need to, just make someone who is being existing to be your partner in terms of a self-improvement journey, because your ambition would not be matching. Because they might not be
Yeah.
that much ambitious with your goals. Like you wanted to improve your English, you wanted to better at communication. So what did work in your case? I understand it well. Is you started something, you started finding the peers in the same domain, because probably the person whom you met, whom have given you help, maybe they're also been very ambitious to learn this language, isn't it? So if learners are watching this video, don't feel that there would be coming, everyone is coming and just giving you support at the day one. You started walking around alone, and in between you'll figure out, you'll get people who gonna help you voluntarily. As you mentioned, I have also encountered this thing some of the time. People voluntarily will come you and tell you, hey Anshuman, you are doing great job, would you mind to just correct one or two things? And believe me, Gopi, that was also one of the very turning point. One of the speaker I was talking on is Fluency application. Shout out to is Fluency, because I have also used this application so heavenly for last 2.5 years for free. There I met one person who really changed my the way I just communicate, because earlier I was taking so many pauses. He told me, which nobody has told earlier, that because everyone were appreciating, because after 2.5 years I was well enough to communicate, but he specifically talked in a very good manner. At last he told, Anshuman, you are fluent, you are eloquent speaker. However, you have taken a lot of pauses and maybe you have used a lot of filler words. Don't you feel that you are using? At that time, first time somebody has given me a real suggestion. You could just improve that. And that's how it's just evolving. And I believe this is also what happened in your case. Maybe people are coming. So the learner who are watching this video, make sure to do not seek for the help from day one. You started your walking around. Maybe after a certain period of time, once you have a strong grit, now people would come to support you. Is it the right way to say it, Gopi?
Yeah, that's the right way to say. Even I would say the days you got so demotivated, the days you got lots of self doubts on your spoken English are the important days in your journey.
Hmm.
Why? Because after that day, you may implement certain new things in your
Correct.
practice. It had happened with me n number of times. Whenever I was hurt by someone, whenever I was getting lots of self doubts, if I could compare that day with the next day, there would be a huge improvement in my. I can't say improvement. There would be a huge changes in my practicing methods. So that's what I wanted to say. If anyone is pointing out your mistakes, you should consider yourself lucky.
Correct. True, true, true. And now let me know your experience in terms of learning the things. So once you started, Gopi, tell me that what was the learning methodology did you follow, and at which level you are? What did you do to match this level today?
Okay, all right. So just like everybody, my journey started with a YouTube channel,
Okay.
and everyone knows about this conventional learning method called reading, listening, writing,
Yep.
speaking.
Yep.
So I was introduced to these four pillars in 2019,
Mm-hmm.
but for some reason I was not able to focus a lot on writing. That's why my vocabulary is not that great.
Mm-hmm.
But I was focusing a lot on reading, listening, as well as speaking. Speaking, I was practicing like anything during COVID time. But after that, I took a break. But that time, YouTube was the main source of me to improve my grammatical skill. Some people may not agree with me, but my journey started from 6 months of grammar practice. I practiced grammar for around 6 months, and then I realized there is no use of this grammar. Please just close all the books. Until you use it, you can't do anything with it.
Correct.
So I just closed all my notes and stuff, and I started practicing. And after a little bit of dip in my life, I again started my journey back in 2021-22 at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So that time, just like you said, one application, I got one application in my life. It's not there right now, but that application helped me to connect with people from across the world, I can say.
Mm-hmm.
Even though my communication was too poor, few people from another country handled me very well. They taught me how to how to do self introduction. In fact, self introduction was the first thing that I practiced for a month, and then I started implementing, and I was so satisfied, after making my complete self introductions.
Okay. Okay.
So this is how it should be started. So simply speaking, I was focusing on speaking and then reading. When it comes to reading, I was not reading newspaper. I'm allergic to newspaper, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
I used to read kids stories that we can get it from Play Store applications, and then listening. I used to listen to lots of English songs as well as English conversations as well as movies. I used to watch a lots of movies. That's how my journey started. Little by little, my practice has also been little improved. Nowadays, I speak for at least 1 hour per day, reading I would say 15 to 20 minutes of reading Twitter comments. Till now, I did not allow newspaper in my life because I know it's going to make me feel bored in just 15 minutes,
Yeah.
because my mindset is like that.
Mm-hmm.
And listening, yes, I've been watching lots of English movies as well as web series, and I have eradicated watching my regional language videos. That's something I wanted to say. If you guys are increasing your watch time of regional language videos, that is slightly influencing your brain.
True.
You are training your brain to think in your regional language. So reduce it, increase your watch time in English. And
Mm-hmm.
the last one that I have implemented in the last 2 years, thinking practice. If I have even mentioned this in one of my previous videos,
Mm-hmm.
thinking practice. I Every day in the morning I think for around a half an hour while walking inside my house. So it's if I say specifically about thinking practice, it could take long period of time, but just for the time being, I say it's a thinking practice. I just think in English for the entire half an hour. That's it.
How do you do that? I would like just to know about this process because there is a lot of folks who are
Mhm.
struggling to just think in English because they might have seen a lot of videos of how to think in English. Even I have talked a lot about this. Would like to know your approach, that how do you think in English, and is it really practically possible for maybe an intermediate speaker to think in English so that they don't have to go with this translation method from their regional language?
Okay, all right. I don't want to give any negative feelings, but
Mm-hmm.
it's my humble opinion.
Mm-hmm.
If any beginners are watching, if any beginners are trying to implement thinking practice, half an hour of thinking is near to impossible, because your mind has been thinking in your regional language so far, and when you're
Yep.
suddenly entering into this thinking practice, when you get a task of thinking in English for half an hour, that is literally impossible. To those beginners, I would say implement 1 minute, 2 minutes of thinking practice. You guys might be wondering, 1 minute or 2 minutes, wow, that is so easy, I can do it. But trust me, it is so difficult. Try
Mm-hmm.
Fighting against your brain is so difficult. I went through it.
Mm-hmm.
Even though when I say 1 or 2 minutes is easy, but when we implement it, it will be really difficult. So how I implemented was, I would walk around, whatever I see, I just try to think. I wouldn't try to describe it. If I tend to describe it, then it will be more like I would say systematic. I would say I would be in a constrained position to speak about only one thing.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of describing whatever comes in my eyes, I just make one sentence out of it. If I see door right at my eyesight, I would say the door is in brown color and it is ajar. Like this, I used to start making sentences.
Mm-hmm.
Little by little, I was able to increase my time. So, to beginners, spend 2 minutes in thinking. Please isolate yourself so that you wouldn't be disturbed by your external people.
Mm-hmm.
So this is how I do. But nowadays, I believe that I have reached to intermediate level. I I just, what I do. I take one problem out of my life and I just insert it in my mind. I just keep thinking about it. My mind, when it comes to problem, your mind just loves it. It loves to
Yep.
think about your problem. It gives you lots of negative opinion.
Yep.
It will literally destroy you. But I sort of used it to my betterment.
Okay.
So that's how I've been trying to implement and reach around half an hour of thinking practice.
Amazing.
So
This
that
is
that is specifically for intermediate as an advanced level speakers.
cool, cool. This is pretty good thing that you're using your negative thoughts to just articulate and being very good articulator. That's a very good use case. However, would like to know, Gopi, since I can see and people would also resonate with this thing. This time you're being a look into speaker. You can prominently speak on any of the topics so perfectly for half an hour, even more than that. There is no doubt on that. So what are those areas where you're looking to upgrade yourself today? Maybe I'm sure that you might be, feeling that this is what I need to look after, or I do need to improve on. Maybe I do need to improve or add on in my communication. So what are those things you're looking forward to have?
Yes, the first and foremost area is my vocabulary.
Mm-hmm.
As I said, I'm not interested in reading newspapers. So, newspaper is something where we could get lots of vocabulary. We could read it with a context. So, I personally believe that I need to work on my vocabs.
Mm-hmm.
Some people say by whatever the vocabulary that I use is more than enough, but I just consider about my future. I can't, have this same state for a long period of time. So
Mm-hmm.
I believe that I need to, spark a little on my vocabulary practice. Other than that, some of my close friends, in terms of spoken English journey, they told me that I'm taking a little bit of pauses. I'm trying to work on it. I'm reading a few stories out loud for two
Mm-hmm.
minutes continuously. I trust that is going to improve my flow of speech.
Mm-hmm.
And other than that, I have to rise up my voice a little bit. I need to work on my enunciation as well as way of talk. This is one comment that I got from a particular speaker. So these are the things: vocabulary as well as taking frequent pauses, and then my enunciation. These are the things I'm supposed to concentrate on. I'm planning to work on it in the upcoming days.
Lovely. I'm glad that you're aware where you have to, because once I asked this question, I was very much aware that you're gonna have the answers. And the reason of this asking question is no matter at which level we are, we should know that where we are and where we should look upon. And I'm glad that you have already this knowledge. So
Yeah.
let me know your thoughts on, maybe it would be sounds like a little bit HR wala question, but I would like to ask this. Where do you see yourself in next 4 or 5 years? Would you want to be a great public speaker? Great eloquent speaker, maybe a good communicator, and maybe a tutor too, or anything else. Maybe you can have your own opinion on that.
Okay. All right. I would like to see myself as a tutor, not a
Mm-hmm.
public speaker. I believe I need to. 5 years are literally not enough for me to become a public speaker.
Mm-hmm.
So I would like to become a tutor.
Mm-hmm.
I so far I've been giving advice to people how they should improve their spoken English. Uh, I think in this particular year, I just stepped a foot into teaching. I've been teaching one or two people in this particular year.
Mm-hmm.
But after 4 or 5 years, I would really like to see myself, continuing this full-fledged teaching activity in spoken English, whether it is online or offline. So that's how
Amazing.
I would like to.
Hmm. Got it. Your video is frozen, Gopi.
Mm.
So yes, Gopi, as we were discussing about a lot of things, and I'm glad that you're aware that where you wanted to improve. And I would like to obviously see you as an best tutor of English spoken thing because you have gone through bit that journey. You could possibly guide the learners from basic how they do need to come to the advanced or maybe intermediate level, and they can better at the spoken English, and they can also fulfill the. So tell me one last question. I would like to get the answer from you. What did this language change for you?
What did this language change for me? It literally changed the way I see towards this professional environment. When I used to work in mechanical industry, I was not able to focus a lot on my work. I was looking for a respect. I was looking for an area where I could expose my skill.
Mm-hmm.
But after I got into this particular technical field, after I started my spoken English journey, not only in my work, even in general areas, I would be able to expose my skill. I would be able to contribute something through my spoken English. And not to brag, I was also given so much of credits for that, excluding my work. So
Okay.
first and foremost, the respect that I got after I started speaking English, I would get respects from lots of community and appreciations. Who doesn't say no to appreciations? I was able to get lots of appreciations, and it opened up a lots of opportunity for me in my life. As I said, I used to fail in lots of interviews. That taught me that I had to improve my spoken English.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm at certain level in this language, and I'm not scared of the first two interviews in any sort of organization. For the last, a guy who used to fail in 20, 30 interviews, a guy who never failed in the first three interviews from 2025. So
Amazing.
you can just see how it has evolved my life. So that's
Glad to hear
what
that. I mean, it sort of gave you that confidence that now you can depict or project yourself that confidence. Doesn't matter is it professional talk, interviews, or the real life experiences you talked. I believe the learner who are watching these videos, they would be also being ambitious to have in general fluency so that they can not even excel into their interviews. They can actually being good at their general communication in order to share their value, in order to just being into any kind of group discussion happening so that they would be confident enough to project themselves that they can share their ideologies or the thoughts without having hesitation. And you're the icon for them because you have done it. And I would definitely recommend everyone to just go to Gopi's channel, also link it there and see that what you can learn from him. So thank you again, Gopi, for having being with us, sharing your insights, and all the best for your future records. I believe that yes, you would obviously have this strong teaching grit, and you definitely get it within a couple of years. Yeah. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for this opportunity as well as your time. It was such a fantastic session, and I look forward to meeting with you again.
Sure. Sure. All right. Bye bye. Have a great day ahead.